Hey guys, Gaming Off the Grid here. Is retro video game collecting pointless? This topic has been going through the retro game community for about a month now, and in today's episode we're going to weigh in on this very interesting, engaging, and somewhat controversial topic. What are we drinking today?
Today we're drinking Triple B by Peachtree Brewing Company. It's a bourbon barrel-aged blonde ale.
Very excited about this one. You know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss an upload, and sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and stay tuned to this episode of Gaming Off the Grid.
Hey everybody, DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, and you're watching Gaming Off the Grid. Remember, everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
All right, here we go. We're excited to weigh in on this hot topic in the retro game community. It was really brought to the forefront a few weeks back when Smash JT did a video which was very underproduced for his style. He was walking around the basement of his parents' home and was just kind of talking to the camera saying, hey, why do I have all this stuff?
Yeah.
Is retro game collecting pointless? And it kind of started the ball rolling. We've seen some other big heavy hitters on YouTube weigh in on the topic, from Pixel Game Squad, RGT85, the Game Chasers, so on and so forth. And Robert and I started talking, and it was like, you know what? None of these folks have, although they've made great points, have made the points that we wish to make on the topic. So we're going to kind of weigh in on it today.
Yeah, so let's just start with, how do we consume media?
So I think this is really important to ask yourself this question. How do you consume media, and which impact do you want that media to have? So let's dig a little deeper and explain where we're going with this. So right now, I think a lot of people are into streaming and emulating a video game. So this is all going to tie together. And I think about Netflix. I think about when I turn on that, or my SNES Classic or NES Classic. Do you ever feel overwhelmed? Like, what are you going to choose to play?
Or watch?
Yeah, and I look at it as like, there's almost information overload. It's kind of got this microwave society feel to me, where, you know, if you get to level 2 and you die, maybe you just reset it and you play a different game. Or how many times have you looked around on Netflix for 30 minutes and you don't know what to watch, right?
Yeah, I call it scatterbrain.
Yeah.
Like, there's just so much information. Like, I've spent so much time on Netflix scrolling through, can't decide what I want to watch, or I'll try and watch something, get 2 minutes in and say, no, I don't like this.
Yeah.
2 minutes into a show, how do you not know that you don't like it? It's because there's too much information.
Too many options.
It's just like, I don't know what's going to be good or not. I do consume media that way, but like that, it's just bad. It's bad.
Yeah, and the point that I'm making with this is, I think if you ask yourself honestly, ask yourself this question: what is your favorite video game of all time? What is your favorite record of all time? And what is your favorite movie of all time? My guess is you did not consume that through an emulating device, through Netflix, or through Spotify.
Yeah.
I think you probably had a movie, you bought that movie, you watched that movie over and over and over again. I think what we're getting ourselves into with all these options is you don't ever get to fully take something in and let it have an impact and digest it and process it. I think at the very least, it is not pointless to collect the important games to you. The games that you want to take off the shelf and put in your NES or your PlayStation 4 for that matter, and play week after week and become an expert of that game. So just really think about this. This is really a personal question. So we have our opinions of how we feel. But again, I really think some of your favorite things, whether it be video games or any other type of media, are things that you had physically at one point, which you played over and over again.
I know that I've seen, like Netflix, for example, I've seen a show once and I say I really liked it, but I'm never gonna see it again because of the options. But if I were to own that show or own that game like that was on the NES Classic, and I actually owned it, I will play that again. But if it's on the Classic, or it's like a song that comes up in my Spotify, it's like, dude, this song is badass, but I only know this one song by this artist. I'm not gonna go out of my way to listen to it again. It's just, it's crazy.
Yeah, well, I think the question is, retro game collecting pointless? Kind of goes, are vinyl records and CDs pointless? That depends on you. I will tell you this, I enjoy an album more if I have to put the vinyl on and then get up and flip it over, or put the CD in, because there's a little more work involved. I just can't click around. I can't just microwave it. What's the best meal you've ever had? It wasn't a microwave dinner. I guarantee you that. And I think that's kind of where this discussion yields itself. Even getting out of this game room helps me enjoy games more. I do a lot of my hardcore gaming down in my garage, where there's no other options except for a couple consoles, and I have to take a game down there, and that's what I'm going to play for the night. So I think that's really important when it comes to weighing emulation versus retro game collecting. And then the next point that I want to bring up, which not a ton of people went down this rabbit hole, is the technical side of things.
Which is very important.
So input lag is a real thing, folks, and there are going to be some people that probably blow up our comment section and say, well, you can get a Framemeister or a Frankensteiner or whatever and run this through all this stuff. Okay, keep it simple, stupid, right?
That's too much work.
Too much work, and your casual gamer, which is what our channel tries to play to, is the casual gamer at home. How can you bring a couch co-op experience home for you, your kids, and your family, friends to enjoy? So nobody is going to typically buy an NES Classic and then run it through all this stuff to mitigate input lag. So I will ask you this. Maybe quit watching this video right now and go try to beat Punch-Out on the NES Classic. Let me know how that goes for you.
Good luck.
Get back to me when you beat that game.
Yeah, because that's your tester game.
I test everything.
He's one of the best Punch-Out players that I know, and he struggles on the NES Classic because of the lag. And it's like, because that game is all about timing. You got to be precise and stuff. And even if it's a very minuscule amount of lag, that game you notice.
Absolutely. So point being, if you want to beat a game in its purest form, you know, again, if you want to listen to an album in its purest form or watch a movie in its purest form, that's usually not like through emulation or through streaming online.
Yes.
So it is worth noting, we do emulate, we do stream. When I'm at work, I listen to Pandora all day long.
I have a Spotify premium account. I pay money to stream music all day.
But once it hits 7, 8 o'clock at night, it's time for the records to go on.
Yes,
it's time for me to play an NES cartridge.
I collect vinyl, so like I always have a vinyl in my player, and every time I get home, I click it on, and I have like a full-blown stereo, and it's just like the experience, and it's convenience versus quality. I think that's super important to bring up.
Super important. So is retro game collecting pointless? You know, from a standpoint of maybe going for a complete collection, you know, and as a collector, I've never wanted to do that. I've always just wanted to have the top 20 to 30 games on each console that was relevant to me in my childhood. And if I invite somebody over to the game room, like, hey, do you have Diddy Kong Racing? Yeah, sure do, man.
Let's play.
Right? So that's kind of where I'm coming from. But you know, having a full collection, that's on you. If you want to do that, that's awesome. And I think I would love YouTube videos where people like complete their NES collection. That's
awesome.
Maybe that is a little pointless because you're never going to be able to become an expert on all those games, right? But if you want to beat Contra and Super C and Punch-Out and some of the Mario games, which require impeccable timing, platforming, and jumping,
and memorization.
Yeah, I don't think emulation is your way to go on those. They're convenient, but you're not getting the best quality, which is where you brought up convenience versus quality. What do you wish to get out of this specific game?
See, we have a couple multi-carts that we have in the garage, and we take them when we go to cons and stuff, and they're super convenient. We love them, but I'll randomly pick a game I've never heard of, and it's like, dude, okay, this game's badass. I'll get to like level 2 and I'll die, and I'll go up and reset and pick a different game. Like, I'm not even giving that game a chance because of all the options. So it's awesome that I'm playing that game because I don't know if I would have played it otherwise, but I'm not actually giving that game a chance. So it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, and we have access to both. We have our Wii is hacked, our classic consoles are hacked, but you know, recently Smash JT said in another video, like he canceled the Sega Genesis Classic pre-order, and he's like, you know, am I ever going to play this thing? And a lot of those retro consoles, they're cool for nostalgia and an aesthetic, but is that what you play? Since I have got the NES Classic and the SNES Classic, I can unequivocally say I've played my regular NES and my Super NES way more than I've played those classic consoles, but they are convenient.
They are convenient. Like, we go to cons and stuff, and we bring
those charity events.
Yeah, we go to our charity event, and it's awesome. But is that the go-to way to play it? No.
So you got to kind of read your own mail. What type of consumer of media, video games, etc. are you? And if you really dig deep and ask yourself, I think you got to ask yourself, what is your favorite movie of all time, favorite video game of all time, favorite album of all time, and how did you consume it? Because I think the way that you consumed it has something to do with it being your favorite of all time. Well, I think that's very important.
To bring that up, like, one of my favorite movies is like 500 Days of Summer, for example. I own that movie on DVD. I own the soundtrack on vinyl. Like, I own like everything that involved that movie, and it's like, it's all physical. It's the real deal way to experience it. And I feel like if you were just to stream it, you'd be like, okay, yeah, that's a good movie, and then you'd move on.
And you might never watch it again, right? And so I think, you know, like, I think out by my TV, I've got a fistful of VHS tapes. You know, my Schindler's List, Money Pit. That I watch all the freaking time. And I put them in maybe every couple months, and I don't do that with streaming things. So I think it's really important. I can't personally imagine living in a world where I didn't own a physical copy of Punch-Out and like Bossa Nova by the Pixies.
You can't.
So I think that if you really boil it down to those questions, I think you're going to find yourself on maybe the side of the coin that says it's not pointless. Going all in and like buying every game ever, maybe.
Buying games that
you're not going to play
to complete a set and then just sits on a shelf. That is pointless. I don't get the point of just having it to have it. If you're gonna have it and play it, heck yes, it's awesome to have it. But
and then
it's
also, I guess another question I'll throw in here towards the back end of this discussion is, what is retro, right?
Yeah.
So where do you draw that line? Because that's always another conversation, maybe a topic for a different day. But we're talking right now of basically cartridge-based games, because once you get into disc-based stuff, emulation gets a little dodgy. There's not great emulation out there right now for like PS2 and beyond, PS3, Nintendo Wii, Xbox 360, etc. Are those kind of retro consoles? I would say ish.
They're
right?
ish.
And right now those are the best ways to still play those. So I think retro game collecting will always have a place. I don't know that you need to 100% go all in, but I would suggest, no matter what type of media it is, that you have your favorite video games, your favorite movies, and your favorite music on physical form.
Yeah.
Until that physical form is not the best possible option, unequivocally, to play that game, it won't be pointless.
Another topic I want to bring up is the experience of collecting. I know some people don't like collecting, so this probably doesn't apply to you, but I love going to like a game store or going thrifting or going garage sale hunting and finding those retro games, or going to a vinyl shop and digging through vinyls. And it's just like the experience and the story behind the collecting, it adds to the value of it.
Well, I know from, again, going back to the impact that you want your media to have, I've experienced so many more movies because of this thing I'm going to talk about next. Is I don't have Netflix anymore. Because there's a Goodwill close to where I live where VHS tapes are 10 cents a piece.
That's insane. That's
so I can get 10
cheap.
movies for $1, right? And as opposed to paying $10 a month for something that I flip on once or twice, maybe.
Yeah.
And of the movies I'm picking up, I watch them 2 to 3 times, and I get to know the movies, and I get to watch them from a different perspective. A lot of times
And you give them a chance.
Yeah. And so there's that aspect of it, of the experience of when I find a movie that I think is like, holy cow, is this? Well, let's go with Jurassic Park, right? 10 cents for Jurassic Park. That's hard for me to pass up and think, some people might be like, oh, if you have VHS tapes, you're a hoarder. Okay, well, it's 10 cents. I honestly, with all the VHS tapes I have probably less invested in that than you have in a year subscription to Netflix, and I own the movies.
And you own them. You can watch them whenever you want. You don't have to be scatterbrained flipping through, or you don't have to worry about Netflix removing things, which is also irritating and pisses people off.
And it's just, again, it's still, even though your movies are right there, you get up, you get that off the shelf, you put it in, you're committed.
Yes.
You're going in, you're going to enjoy that movie, or not enjoy that movie, but you're all in at that point. I just want to make it very clear, Smash and these other folks, nobody unequivocally said it was pointless, right? This is just a discussion topic that I think is a really cool thing right now and we've never done like a response video or anything. So it's kind of the first time we're weighing in and offering an opinion on something like this. So I think it was a great topic. You brought up Smash, and we appreciate the other input from Pixel and RGT and the Game Chasers as well. It's been a lot of fun. So
now let's talk about this beer.
Yeah,
the Triple B.
This is a Peace Tree beer, and it's kind of a twist on their flagship beer, the Blonde Fatale. It's a Belgian-style ale for them, and this is a barrel-aged version of that right?
beer.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts?
It's, really good. You can definitely, if you put your nose to it, it's like, whoa, that's definitely barrel-aged, and it's definitely aggressive. If you're not a fan of barrel-aged stuff,
or Belgian
beers, this might not be for you. And what's also crazy is Blanc Fatale in itself is high percentage, and then they barrel aged it, so this is a huge heavy hitter.
Yeah.
But I will say it is enjoyable. It has really good flavor. You can taste that Belgian. You can taste the barrel aged in this. This is a really good beer.
Yeah, I love this beer, and I like Blonde Fatale, so I figured that I would. And what is cool to me is this beer has definitely matured a little bit. We were actually able to get a tasting when it was a couple weeks premature. Right?
Yes.
We were down at the brewery, and they gave us it's more carbonated now than it was at that time. So
it's so cool. But this, I think this is just like a limited release.
It is.
And the bottle's really sweet.
Oh, way cool. Super simple, but super sexy. it's just awesome.
It's super sweet. Peachtree did a great job with this.
So a great brewery here in Iowa. If you're ever strolling through the state, even if you don't live in Iowa, you have probably heard of Peachtree Brewery, and the Triple B is a home run for sure. This is one of their best special releases that I've had. I think.
It's so
really enjoy this. So anyways, circling back, is retro game collecting pointless? I think hell no. I do not think it is. And until you can get me to beat Punch-Out on an emulated version of it, you're not going to convince me otherwise, no matter what your argument is. And yeah, if you can do it, good for you, but I don't think it's possible to do it the right way. So anyways, any last thoughts before we wrap things up?
I just want to say, like, we want to hear your responses to this. Like,
absolutely.
Film a response video. Leave a comment below. I want to hear your opinions on this topic.
If you think we're dead wrong, tell us.
Don't be afraid to don't be hesitant. I want to know what you think about, is retro video game collecting pointless? I want to know, like, your backstory, what you think. Please tell us.
Let it loose, and we appreciate that. I mean, our comment sections are the best part of this channel. Like, it's alive and thriving, and we absolutely love it. And we absolutely love you and appreciate you tuning in and subscribing to the channel. Keep gaming, keep drinking. We'll see you next time right here on Gaming Off the Grid. Hey guys, Gaming Off the Grid. Hey guys, Gaming Off the Grid here. And there's a topic right now in the retro game community that's making me a little crazy. Hey guys, Gaming Off the Grid here. There is a topic right now going through the retro game community that makes this one a fart. Pour yourself a beer if you care to, and let's talk about retro video gaming. And the fact is, you face you in a match, dude.
Ow, that actually hurt a lot.
Oh, my sternum.
Oh my Steve.
Dude, I'm not gonna be able to film for a couple weeks. Injured my sternum.
Oh, dude, you and your ailments.